What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. Cinco de Mayo here in the great state of New York. Heading to my first service call of the day. It's 7:45 here in the morning. We're doing a central air conditioning maintenance. About maybe 8 years ago, we installed the system, including ductwork. And once a year, we give her a, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm doing? How you doing? Let's go show you step by step how we leave no stone unturned during a central air conditioning annual maintenance service call. Let's go. All right, I am a little early to the service call. I am going to start my time in Housecall Pro. That way the office can keep track of how much time we actually spend on service calls, traveling, things like that. Plus, if you bill by time and material, you'll know exactly how much time you spent on site. Now, even though I'm a little bit early, I'm going to start working on the outdoor unit. And I see the front door open, so it's an invitation to, hey, come on in. All right, we got this Carrier Performance 16 SEER outdoor condensing unit. Wow, I think it's 2019 maybe we put it in, or it could be 17. But I'm gonna show you step by step how we perform annual maintenance on not only the outdoor unit, but also the indoor unit. So let's get the show on the road. Wow. 2019. Okay, power's disconnected. Let's start taking it apart. All right, now the power's off. I removed the electrical compartment cover with a 5/16 driver and also a stubby to get in there. Let's check for voltage between L1 and L2. We have nothing. And now ground individually, nothing, and nothing. So we've safely confirmed, well, we've confirmed that the system is now safe to work on. Now, before I get into things, we're going to discharge the capacitor by just touching all that together. Boom. Okay, now let's remove our wiring from the terminals of the dual capacitor. Okay, push that off to the side. If you don't know which goes where, the one with 1 or 2 poles on the terminal are fan, 3 is generally HERM, which is hermetically sealed compressor, and 4 is common. You can also use a Sharpie to write down C, F, and H. All right, now that all the wires are removed from the terminals, let's set our multimeter to read capacitance, and let's go from common to HERM. We are at 43.7. This is a 45/5, and our company policy is 5 or 10% based on condition or based on specifications. There is a 6%, so we're still kind of good there. But knowing how these like to die, especially coming out of Carriers, you know what I'm talking about. Our common to fan is 5.1. Let's just check from common to HERM again. 43.8. Let's put our wiring back on the contactor. Contactor is going to remain as it is still good. Now we're going to remove the wiring from the contactor coil. There's one. There's the other. Let's set it to read resistance. And let's go on one to the other. Right there. Come on, baby. There we go. And we are at 14. See? 14. Anything in the teens is good. Let's put our wires back on the single pole contactor. So our capacitor is good. and so is our contactor. If that red not in the teens, time to replace it. All right, I removed all of the 5/16 screws that hold the condenser fan motor shroud assembly to the top of the condenser. We're gonna pull the condenser fan motor off to the side and expose the inner workings of the outdoor condensing unit. Okay, there's usually enough slack on the 3 wires going to the condenser fan motor, so we could just prop it up there and it rests perfectly there. Let's clean the inside of the condenser. All right, I scooped out as much of the dirt as possible. If it was dry, I would have been using my shop vac to vacuum out everything, but it's all wet and we'll be all right. I'm just gonna use a hose and pre-rinse the coil and the inside of the condenser. Now, this is a single row coil, so it's going to be fairly easy to get this bad boy clean. When you're fighting a 2-row coil, it gets a little hard, and sometimes you got to split them to get in between the 2 coils, but we're lucky here. All right. Going to do the whole entire coil, and then we're going to treat it with the chemical. All right, I'm using the Nu-Calgon NuBrite. I filled up my container a little more than 3/4 full. Since she's fairly clean, I got her on B as a ratio. B gives us 4-to-1 ratio, which is 25 ounces per gallon. If she's dirty, go to 3-to-1. And if she's kind of clean, don't even use this stuff, okay? Now that everything's pre-rinsed, I got my foam gun set up. There we go. Let's clean the coil. Rinsing my coil gun out. If you don't rinse it out, when you go to use it tomorrow, she can be all filled with cocky. Make sure you rinse it out good and thoroughly. All right, now that my coil gun is thoroughly rinsed, we are now going to rinse off the coil. And we're cleaning from the inside out. All right, and this process, depending on your coil, should take you a minimum of 10 minutes. Okay? If you fail to remove the chemical from the coil, you will cause permanent damage. So take a little extra time and thoroughly rinse the chemical off the coil. All right, while I'm cleaning out the condenser, I raised up the bottom with a little wedge there, just so I could get all the dirt from underneath the condenser where it sits in the pad. And then I could really give it a good rinsing and not worry about the drain port on the bottom clogging up with dirt. And as you can see, the bottom of my condenser is a night and day difference. All right. While I was hosing everything down and rinsing it off, I did get some water in the electrical compartment. Maybe a lot of extra water. So, kind of like when you go to the bathroom at a restaurant, an office building, you have the air dryer. So I'm going to take the air dryer and I'm going to dry off the contactor and the capacitor of any moisture that may be on there. If you didn't, it's also a good idea to use the blower to blow off any debris, cobwebs, what have you, that are inside the electrical compartment. You can air dry that off. Remember, it takes about 30 to 90, 60 seconds to thoroughly get your hands dry, right? Sometimes it's not a Dyson. All right, maintenance on the outdoor unit is now complete. And we've been here for almost an hour, 53 minutes from the time we checked in when we got to the property. And yes, I know we did not check our refrigerant pressures and temperatures, and we did not check amperage on the compressor or amperage on the condenser fan motor, at least not yet. I just wanted to document and show you guys the proper way of cleaning an outdoor unit on your central air conditioning system. Let's go turn on the thermostat, make sure our click of the contactor turns on, and hence condenser fan motor operation and compressor operation. We're only going to check refrigerant pressures and temperatures if we suspect there's a problem. All right, cool, and let's set it to 65. All right, compressor. All right, I also, while I was inside, changed the customer's filters, 14 by 30 by 1. There's 2 of them. Let's go check outside. All right, not too shabby. All right, she's beer can cold. I'm not checking the refrigerant unless I suspect there's a problem, and I got some warm air being discharged out of the top of this condensing unit. We have an indoor temperature, I think it was 70, 73 according to the videotape. We have an ambient temperature of 62. Let's see what our discharge temperature is. All right, 67.6, 0.7, 0.8. Looks like we're gonna be at 68 degrees of discharge temperature. Let's check our supply and return temperature inside the house. 68.5 degrees.
Parts of the house.
50. Kitchen is 49 degrees. Dining room 50 degrees. Blue bedroom, 53. Yeah, this bedroom is 49 degrees, so it may be a partially closed damper. I could check that in the attic if you like. Master bedroom, 50.5. Probably 50 degrees. Actually, it's still dropping, probably 49 and change.
These are the correct temperatures for...
Well, that one bedroom there, you said, is warmer than the others, and it's not as cold as the rest. It probably has a damper closed. Labeled. That's because we installed it. This one is that front left bedroom, and I just damper levers right here. It was right there. Now it's there, fully open. We'll have more air now. Front, middle, foyer. Okay, and of course, my OSHA approved plywood floor. All right, where's the brush? There's the brush. Let's clean out the trap. She's fairly clean. Inside. Okay, good. Let's put the caps back on. Beautiful. Okay. Condensate cup. Very Very nice. Still fairly clean. Dusty, but still fairly clean. Bathroom exhaust. Wow, goes into a T. Oh yeah. There it is. Almost lost my big black thing. Whew, that would have sucked. All right, the blue bedroom. 49.5.
Oh, so it went down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. An hour and 20 minutes on site for one central AC maintenance and cleaning. If your HVAC contractor is in and out in 20 minutes, you get what you pay for. You can't accomplish what I did in 20 minutes. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. But if you're paying $29.95 for an AC maintenance and they're not really doing anything, why are you pissing away money? Pick up the phone and give me a call, 516-348-6300, or save time. Book online at pipedoc.net. You can also scan in that QR code right there. Bring you right to my landing page, and we'll hook you up. We're based in Woodmere, New York, and I'd love to help you. I'll catch you in the next one. Be well, God bless, stay safe.